So I hope I don't cough during this. I haven't done this in a long time. Basically the reason is I realized that I was talking out my ass. Like some of my earlier podcasts, I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, but I was trying to act like I knew what the fuck I was talking about, and that's a problem. Don't listen to people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Also, this is going on YouTube and on the podcast, so if you'd rather watch a YouTube video of it, go on YouTube. Hello everyone on YouTube. I don't really post on YouTube that much right now. Just I post the podcasts, and I'm just keeping the podcast consistent. Basically, what this is going to be is this is just going to be me. I did an Instagram thing basically saying, hey, should I do a solo episode of me? Because I haven't done this in a long time, done solo. Maybe. Fuck, I'm sick. So that sucks. But yeah, I've got tea. Fuck, that's hot. Basically, I haven't done a solo episode in a long time, and a lot has changed since I last did solo stuff. I think I've learned a lot, and it's made me realize how little I know, especially lifting-wise, because I've talked to people like AJ Morris, Jack Thorburn, anyone from 3DMJ, Eric Helms, talking to Jeff Albert soon. Like, there's a whole bunch of people who I've talked to, and they've just blown me out of the fucking water with their knowledge. And listening to people, a lot of them from the British scene. So anyone that competes in BMBF, basically, anyone in Britain, the knowledge of bodybuilding, natural bodybuilding in Britain is fucking insane. And basically, it's made me realize that I want to compete. So basically, what I'm going to do in this episode is just tell you where I am now, how I got here, and what I want to do in the future. Basically, when I started lifting, I weighed 54 kilos. Something like that. I was one small motherfucker. And then I ate a fuck ton of food and lifted pretty well. Like, I think I had 90% of the principles down. Sorry if I keep fucking coughing. I'm sick as a dog. So I think I had a lot of the principles down and I was doing things pretty correctly, but my problem was I just didn't eat enough food. So I got to like about 60 kilos pretty easily. That was like 7 kilo jump. Then I got to 65 kind of easily. And I plateaued at 65 for a long time. And then the jump from 65 to 70 kilos has been a long time as well. So for me, to give you a little background, I have scoliosis. I am naturally like skinny as fuck. So I think my genetics are pretty trash, but I've realized recently that they can't be that bad because I think I put muscle on in the right areas. I think I just need more of it, and the way I'm going to do that is by putting on more muscle. So effectively what I need to do from this point forward is just put on more mass, because I want to compete probably in the INBA. I think it's the International Bodybuilding Association, International Natural Bodybuilding Association. That was recommended to me by Eric. And basically, I want to just get as big as possible, probably to like 80, 85, and then cut down and see where I land. Because I think it's useful for me to compete while I'm still new. I don't want to wait 6 years before I compete, because I think maybe I probably won't win if I compete soon. But yeah, I think it's beneficial for me to compete soon. So basically, this summer I'm going to bulk. So yeah, I've never done a cut, and I don't think I'll do a cut until I compete. So yeah. But basically, in the last 6 months, I've learned a lot from people like AJ Morris, people like 3DMJ. Those are the main two that have really taught me a lot. Jack Thorburn as well. And their sort of lifting style has basically taught me how to not be a dumb fuck in the gym, and how much a proper program actually matters, and how much I should just ignore most general lifting advice. Like, you need to figure out what works for you. I've learned a lot from Nunez, Alberto Nunez, because watching his bulking in the year 3000 series, basically, he shows you he's doing all these weird lifts. Like, he's not doing a lot of barbell bench press. He's not doing a lot of straight barbell deadlifts. Like, he doesn't do all these weird things, but he does very unconventional lifts because they work for him. And that's something that I want to sort of keep in. I think that's something that has really helped me, because for a long time I thought I had to squat, bench, deadlift, and there's still people who fucking say that. And personally, I think that's a load of shit. You don't need a squat. You need a squat variation. It can be barbell. Barbell's great, sure. But if you can't fucking barbell squat, then you can hack squat, you can leg press, you can split squat. There's other things. And people who say, it pisses me off. It's because what you're doing there is you're basically taking everyone that has an injury or that can't, just fucking can't squat, and you're just putting them in a fucking pen and you're glorifying this one exercise because people act like people who say you need to squat to get big legs. Like Lane Norton used to say that. I'm sure he's changed his stance now. If he hasn't, then he's a fucking idiot. Sorry, Lane Norton, but there's nothing about a squat that gives you more hypertrophy. There's no reason that is more powerful than something else. If you can get the same range of motion with the same tension on the muscle, then there's no fucking difference just because it's on a barbell. But it is a great movement, obviously, but I can't fucking squat, so I'm going to basically build some sick legs without squatting. Because basically, yeah. But what I sort of realized was up until the last 6 months, I didn't take bodybuilding seriously. And I didn't consider myself a bodybuilder. Now I do. I haven't competed yet, but I consider myself a bodybuilder. And I feel like that's a good distinction to make. Because I think if you don't make that distinction, then you're just going to lift casually and it's not your lifestyle. Yeah. And I think for me, I need to sort of make it my lifestyle. Because I didn't take legs seriously. Like I trained legs, and my legs gained some size, but they weren't going to gain much size. Like my side chest with, your leg flexed, that still looked like shit. In the last probably 2 months, I've done a lot of leg training, but it's still nowhere near it needs to be. I want my legs to be fucking phenomenal, because for me, my situation is my legs are so fucking long that I need to pack so much fucking muscle onto these legs. Need to pack so much muscle onto these legs that it's like I need to get insane legs. Well, I need to pack so much muscle on to make them even look feasible, and it's because my torso is so short, they're going to look long as fuck. So yeah. So basically, in the future, what I'm going to basically be doing is, I'm getting back to uni tomorrow. I just had a 2-week break. Little life update. I'm studying podiatry, which is like feet. It's really cool. I actually really do enjoy it, but I've realized I pretty much only care about lifting, and I've only really cared about lifting for the last 3 years of my life. And whenever I talk to anyone about lifting, they say, why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you doing that as your thing? Why didn't you take sport and rec, whatever the fuck? And it's like, for a long time I was like, oh, nah, whatever, why I can't do this because of that and that and that. But now I sort of realized, okay, there's so many people making it their career. Why can I not be one of those people? Someone who's really inspired me as a previous podcast guest is Revive Stronger, because he had this tragic accident. He got hit by a car, and that fucked with his hormones and all this stuff. You can listen to it on my episode with him. But basically, it's his career now, and he's in the industry, and he's been doing it for a fucking long time. But now he has notoriety in the industry, and that's basically what I want. I just want to become someone notable in the industry, because when I look at people like AJ Morris, Eric Helms, Revive Stronger, which is Steve Hall, it just blows my fucking mind. Just the information. I feel like in the last 6 months, I've discovered this group of people who give actual legitimate lifting advice. Maybe it's too advanced for people who haven't watched the Omar Esofs and the Jeff Nippards. Obviously, Omar and Jeff make amazing videos, but it's you can understand that pretty easily, pretty simply into lifting. But people like Eric Helms, it's he's pitching to personal trainers and he's pitching to coaches. So it's much harder to understand. But basically, in the next 6 months, I'm just going to try and gain as much size as possible. And the way I'm going to do that is I've written myself out a program. I'll just pull it up for you guys. So I'll put it on the screen on YouTube probably, maybe, or I'll just leave a link below. But basically what I've done is I've done a 5-day split, 3-day upper, and then 2 days lower. One of the upper days, because most people when they do upper lower, they do a 4-day split. but I'm doing 5 days to bring up certain weak points, but I'm keeping volume low on most of the upper days. And it's sort of chest focused. Like I'm putting more emphasis on my chest, but then a lot of emphasis on my lats as well. And then I probably should put more emphasis on my traps, but we'll see how it goes. Because the thing is, I need to understand, I need to do this before I can actually decide which to focus on. Because my thing is, I've ran programs before, but I've never written myself a program, run it, and tweaked it, and all that. And I've never done it consistently for 6 weeks in a row. And I think that's something that I need to do, because how do the top natural bodybuilders in the world train? They train with programs. Look at AJ Morris. He's a great example. I'm probably going to bring him up multiple times in this talk because he's inspired me a lot to fucking lift properly and track your fucking lifts. But basically, AJ Morris, he has a little book with him every day. He writes down what he did last time and the same exercises every week or similar, or last time he did that exercise. And basically, he ends up making sure that he's either staying the same or progressing. And it's basically the ultimate form of progressive overload. Like, I feel like in my first 2 years of lifting, I don't even know how long I've been lifting for at this point. It's like 2 years, 2.5 years, I don't know, something like that. But in my first year and a half, 2 years, I was just sort of eyeballing it and going hard every session, and that's what I thought was how you achieve progressive overload. But I think for so long I skipped over the basics, and I thought my ego was too big for me to understand that I didn't even understand the basics or understand how to apply the basics. Like, I think it's easy to understand progressive overload, but it's not easy to actually fucking do it. And the way you do it is by doing the same fucking lifts every week, and then you track those lifts, and then you understand the rep ranges that you're trying to achieve. Like, for example, I have flat dumbbell press. I'm doing 5 to 8 reps. What that means is within the 5 to 8 rep range, I've also set an RPE, so an RPE of 9, desired RPE of 9. With the 5 to 8 rep range, I must achieve a minimum of 5 with a given weight, or a maximum of 8. If I achieve more than 8 for all my 3 sets, then I can go up. Basically, that's how I'm going to do this. That's going to be my approach. And there's a lot of philosophies for lifting. Basically, I think everyone's best bet is to follow the natural bodybuilders. Like, why would you not follow them? They go hard, but they don't do dumb shit. They don't do, like, if you go in the gym and you still do shit just for a pump, or say, hey bro, let's do this shit, like, you're not gonna fucking grow. Like, maybe you will if you're still getting your noob gains, but after a point, that's not gonna work. Because you're not tracking anything, you're not progressively overloading. And it's just, if all variables are kept the same, you can figure out what variable is changing what and what's actually having an effect. So that's why I think actually moving to a consistent program is going to be a great idea. I have finally learned how to take fucking consistent deloads. For a long time I wasn't taking consistent deloads, but yeah. Also, I figured out how to eat calories finally. Kind of, not really. Like, I'm still having to eat like 4,000 a day, but there'll be a time where I'll go a whole week and I'll eat 3,000 every day that week, which just isn't cutting it. If you get it, cutting. Basically, I think that puts me in a deficit, and I need to figure out how to go to university, study, pass my fucking university, do the podcast while eating enough calories, because I just hate food. Like, it's not, most people find it enjoyable to eat, but I just find it fucking boring. Like, at the end of the day, that's just how it is for me. And I just got to accept that. And I don't think I'm alone in that either. I don't think I'm special because I don't like eating. Because if you see anyone who's bulking and pushing their body weight above a certain point, you get to a point where you have to eat unhealthy. And it pisses me off when people don't understand that I've pushed my body weight up 18 kilos and they think, hey bro, just eat more. Like, hey bro, like, I know I just need to eat more. I know that. But it's not that simple of just eat more food. Oh, just eat more food, bro. Like, you have to figure out strategies to do it at this point. Or you just have to make food that's fucking enjoyable. Dr. Mike, what's his name? Mike Israetel. I always forget his fucking name. Mike Israetel, basically, he was talking about a bulk, and he called it hyperbolic or something like that. He was basically saying that at your highest weight, your highest bulk weight, your food should be the most enjoyable and the most non-nutritionally dense that it's ever going to be. And then at your lowest cut, your food should be the least enjoyable and the most nutritionally dense that it's ever going to be. And I think that's true. But I think there's a point where you need to consider health. But I think for myself, I'm willing to sacrifice health to make some progress. For example, it's almost a running joke in my class how much sugar I eat. We were in diabetes once. We have a class called Timatahuka, which translates to the sugar disease or something. Basically, it's a class on diabetes. And I was sitting there with my Subway cookies, and it's like... Subway cookies are 200 calories each. Predominantly carbohydrates and a lot of sugar within those carbohydrates. And all of the fitness people basically... I think generally the consensus in fitness is sugar's not that bad, it's all good. And then the consensus in the keto warrior sort of thing is, nah, sugar's the devil, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, you've got to figure out your balance between those two perspectives. Because sugar's not great, right? But it's not going to kill you. Like, if you have 1 gram of sugar, you're fucking fine. If you have a decent amount of sugar, you're fine. But if you're having 300 grams of sugar a day, that's another story. I'm hoping to have my lecturer on at the end of the semester. Basically, they're going to come on and talk about, they're doing groundbreaking research about insulin. I don't even want to try and explain it because it's very, basically talking about how you're setting yourself up for diabetes 10 years before you actually get it. And yeah, fuck that. But I don't know, if I have to make, I don't want to get diabetes to get jacked, but yeah, but basically I think my main issues going forward are probably my injuries. So I need to, when I'm in the gym with a mate, I can't just let him be like, hey bro, let's do this exercise. And I'm like, nah, I can't because I'm fucking crippled. Like, there's just things I cannot, there's just no point in doing them. I can't deviate away from my program. I've picked exercises in my program for specific reasons because they work for me and because they're not going to fuck my shit up. I know pretty much currently, if I try and flat bench, I'm going to get upper back issues. I know that'll change in the future, but currently I cannot flat bench with a barbell. But with dumbbells, it works perfectly fine. And even if I just incline the bench a little bit, works even better. So what I've been doing for the last 6 months is a lot of just incline dumbbells, using that as my main compound. I think you don't need to, I think you can make a lot of progress off doing just incline and then doing heavy flies. Maybe that's debatable, but yeah, I think if you cannot do anything flat due to back issues, which is myself, then it's better to do incline progressively than to do flat for a week and then fuck it up and get injured, not be able to do anything for a week, and then have to deload every 2 fucking weeks because you're injured. Deload in quotes, because really you're just taking a week off because you're fucking injured. And I think that's an issue. You don't want, I think that's one of my issues is when I would just do random shit and not listen to my body, it's like, and I wouldn't fucking deload and I wouldn't get enough calories in. It's like, the fuck is the point in that? There's no bloody point. Basically for myself moving forward, to keep my injuries low, I need to keep my volume quality. Sorry if I just shouted into the mic, but I need to keep my volume quality, and the way that I'm going to do that is by taking a similar approach to Jeff Albert's of 3DMJ. Basically, he does extremely low, well, they always say he does extremely low volume, but it's high quality. Every single rep, he's eking out everything in that rep. he's not leaving reps on the table. He's not doing stupid exercises just for a pump. Like, yeah, he's just you're not going for a pump, and you just have to lift. It's a different environment, and you're lifting progressively. You're not lifting for intensity in the moment. Like, I think a lot of people who go into the gym nowadays, they want to have a hard session, not a quality, effective session. And I think making progress in the gym after a certain point, this is not what I've pioneered or some shit. This is obviously, like, everything that I've learned in the past 6 months has been honestly from the UK bodybuilding scene. They've taught me so much, and from 3DMJ taught me so fucking much. But I think to make considerable progress in the gym after you've got your noob gains, like, you can sneeze and gain muscle when you first start lifting. You could do fucking just chest 1 week, back the next week, and then legs the next week, and you'd still fucking gain muscle because it's a very intense stimulus on your muscles. You're going to gain fucking muscle. But when you actually get past that and you have to actually do something, you have to actually have some fucking knowledge. I think the best way to gain muscle is progressive overload on the same lifts with consistent form, with slight weight increases. And yeah, I think, like, for me, I think what I need to do next is basically, I'm currently weighing 71 to 72 kilos. That's my sort of range, which is still light as fuck. Like, I'm still not near, like, heaviest sort of guy around. But I think if I can pack on another 10 kilos, my physique will look drastically different. And I think it's going to be telling. And I think if I just sit around that 80 kilo range for a long time, maybe even sit there for like 3 months and just try and progress at that sort of weight, I'll obviously be fatter. Like, I've been noticing myself actually gain fat, but I don't care because it just means progress at this point. Like, my camera's about to time out soon, but basically I will gain fat, but I'll just sit up there and recomp and see what I can push, what sort of weights that I can move. And yeah, because like Alberto Nunez, he's looking to basically go to, like, he's pushing to 190 or something, but he's staying at around that weight for like 5 years. Maybe he'll end up pushing to 200, but still, it's like he's staying in that damn weight for so bloody long. Like, why am I not doing that? I just need to push to 80 kilos already, like, bruh. Yeah, but I think I can do some serious damage in bodybuilding, because I don't think, in New Zealand, the scene's fucking tiny. I don't know anyone who's a serious natural bodybuilder in New Zealand. I feel like every other cunt just goes to the IFBB, gets on some bloody tren, and, like, that's it. So I feel like natural bodybuilding doesn't even have a scene here. So it's like, either I move to the UK or I just build a damn scene. I don't know how many kids my age are competing in natural bodybuilding, but, we'll see. Yeah, my plan is basically to get fucking shredded. I'll probably go to AJ Morris or 3DMJ for coaching, because you need a coach even if you have all the knowledge. And I obviously don't have the knowledge, but yeah, so basically what I want to do is I want to compete and fucking crush it. And the way I'm going to do that is by being the leanest on stage. And I need to basically I need to set the groundwork now, because if I competed at this body weight, it would look fucking ridiculous. What would I cut down to? 62 kilos, like, on a 6 foot frame? That's fucking dumb. Like, it wouldn't look horrible, but it would look pretty fucking shit. And I don't want to look trash on stage. I want to put up a serious package. Yeah. If any of my UK fam are listening to this, thank you guys, because I think the UK bodybuilding scene has helped me figure out how much opportunity is in natural bodybuilding, and how beautiful of a sport it really is. I almost think it's a different sport to IFBB sort of stuff, just because the variables are so different. And like, I think you can achieve similar things, and people always doubt how much you can actually achieve naturally. It just takes fucking longer. Like, you can't obviously become fucking Phil Heath, but you can look pretty fucking good Like, look at Nunez. God, he looks like a god. Look at Jared Feather. Like, they're not exactly shabby, are they? And they look like Greek gods. If you saw them on the fucking beach, you'd shit yourself. Like, natural bodybuilding is no fucking joke. It's just way harder. Like, I thought that I was at my genetic limit a fucking year in. How dumb is that? Like, now what I've realized is I have so much more to go. The thing that was keeping me back was knowledge. It was not my fucking genetics. It's honestly just knowledge, discipline, and fucking calories for me. But yeah, what a ranty podcast. Yeah, let me know if you guys enjoyed this, because I haven't done a solo episode in a fucking long time. Yeah, shout out to everyone who voted on Instagram. That was my first poll where I'd asked, like, hey guys, want me to do something? Then everyone, I had 100% yeses, which was pretty cool. Yeah, hope everyone's going well. Okay, so my fucking camera died again, but it's all good. Basically, yeah, I want to do some serious damage. I think natural bodybuilding is underestimated, and I think you can achieve so much in natural bodybuilding, it just takes longer. And I think so many people give up and either stop lifting and just completely give up altogether because they think they're like, oh yeah, and then they just lift half-ass or whatever. I think it's not for everyone, but I think for me, I feel like I don't have another option. It's all I want to do. Like, I can't imagine not doing it. So that's a thing. Like, I can't imagine if I just never did it at this point. Like, that would just be ridiculous to me. Yeah, but I don't think it's not for most people. But I think a lot of people who lift, obviously there's more money in the steroided up one, but yeah, like I agree quite a lot with AJ. Like, I just don't see an interest in it. Like, the variables, it's just because natural bodybuilding, I think, is so much more complex. Obviously, I don't think the steroided up ones, I think they have to put on the facade of hard work and all that shit, because then it's like, oh, why do you guys look better than these guys who are like Greek gods? They have to say hard work or some bullshit like that. Like, if you see Simeon Panda, how he talks about his bodybuilding, it's like, he still claims natural, and it's like, just like, shut the fuck up. But what the stuff he claims is like, oh, they just don't work as hard, or our genetics are great, but it's like, bro, yeah. Basically, steroids are a joke. Yeah, I basically just want to compete in natural bodybuilding and fucking win, because I don't feel like I'm disadvantaged, but I just feel like there's never been anyone prominent in bodybuilding with scoliosis and a spinal fusion, and like, it's just, you have so many damn imbalances, and it's like, yeah, I want to show everyone, especially people with scoliosis, like, look how much you can do, like, with scoliosis. Like, I've ran a half marathon, I've done that, and like, I did that in a fucking good time. I feel like I'm just stroking my own ego here, but it's like, it pisses me off. Cunts with like, people with scoliosis need to realize, don't let it fucking limit you. No matter what your bloody, no matter what your medical issues are, like, it doesn't fucking limit you. Look at Brad Loomis. I just had him on the podcast. He's got scoliosis and spondylolisthesis, which is like, his vertebrae is half off it. Like, it's just fucked. But he is a natural bodybuilding pro. Looked fucking insane. And he's like a world-class powerlifter. Like, what does that show you? He's got knowledge through the roof, right? He's smart as fuck. He's with the best coaching team in the world. And I don't think his genetics are insane. I think his fucking work ethic and knowledge is insane. And then I think his scoliosis and that has sort of helped him because he's had to work around it. And I think it's helped me too. Like, obviously it sucks, and I'd prefer to not have it and still be who I am today. But it's built me to who I am today. Like, just bloody embrace it. Like, no matter, like, you can either cry about it, or I feel like I'm being kind of harsh, but it's like, you can either be sad about having this thing, or you can use it to your advantage. Because I think now for me, I can use it to my advantage. Because if I can achieve the same level or better than the average Joe who doesn't have scoliosis, then what does that say about me? And it's like I've had this disadvantage. Maybe if it's not even a disadvantage, maybe if it is, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, fuck. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I think I already wrapped that up, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions or any critiques, because I think on these solo episodes I always go a bit ham, and keep in mind I'm just a 19-year-old kid. I don't know everything. Sometimes I might talk like I do, but I think I'm just passionate about certain subjects and I just like to fucking rant. And yeah. Sweet. Peace. Hope everyone has a lovely night. Go do something you love. Go lift some fucking weights. Even if you have scoliosis, just go do some body weight exercises first. Then start lifting light weights with good form. Get someone to fix your form. Yeah. Anyway. Peace out. Yeah. See you later.